Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Max's Perspective podcast. I hope you're doing well today. Today, we are going to talk about wild animals in Taiwan because I sometimes have to ask students, a question comes up, what wild animals are there in Taiwan? Or have you ever seen a wild animal in Taiwan? And often the answer is surprisingly no. Like, no, there aren't any animals, or no, I've never seen one. And that is just not true. There are definitely wild animals in Taiwan, and I'm sure everyone has seen at least one. So before we look at a few animals, something I want to just note is what is a wild animal compared to a domestic animal. A domestic animal means it's something, it's an animal that's been sort of controlled by humans over the centuries or even thousands of years. Like dogs, once upon a time, all dogs were wolves. And through the course of history, humans have changed dogs into many subspecies and breeds, and now they look basically the way we wanted them to look. It's a little bit sad, but it's true. Cats are domestic animals. All farm animals are domestic animals. Horses, cows, pigs, etc. So that is just to give you an idea. So what is a wild animal? We are focusing on wild animals. What wild animals are there in Taiwan that are sort of originally from Taiwan? So we could say a most sort of well-known and obvious one is the Taiwan black bear, or the Formosan black bear. So I'm sure many of you have not seen this in the wild. I'm sure in the zoo. And apparently there are a few still walking about in Taiwan. I think one was sighted a few years ago, but who knows? But yeah, I would say that. Then there's those monkeys. You get monkeys in Yangmingshan and Kaohsiung. Those are called macaws. That type of monkey is called a macaw. And there's probably a more special word, probably Taiwan macaw or Formosan rock macaw, I think it's called. So we've got monkeys, we've got bears. Then Taiwan has a few types of deer. Have you ever seen a deer? I've seen one or two. I saw one in, I think Yangmingshan or somewhere in Ilan. And there's actually like 2 or 3 species of deer. I saw like quite a small one and obviously very scared and they just run away quickly. But yeah, there's definitely some deer in Taiwan. Don't forget that wild animals aren't just land animals. There's, of course, birds. So Taiwan has quite a lot of bird life. So if you can name a bird or two, that would be great. What are some special Taiwanese birds? There's one sort of big white and black bird. It's called a Blackface Spoonbill. And they walk around in like estuaries and wetlands. So maybe in Tainan or that sort of coastline. And of course, have you ever been to Xiaoliuqiu? That is, what is the common underwater sea animal you see there? That is the turtle. You see turtles there. That's a Taiwan animal. That's a wild animal. You might also see dolphins. I've never seen this, but there are dolphins, I believe, near Ilan or Hualien. The white dolphin. So that's a wild animal. And then, of course, there's some fish. I do believe a species of salmon is quite famous in Taiwan that lives in the mountains, a freshwater salmon. So there we go. That's lots of wild animals, mammals, birds, sea creatures, even some smaller animals. Like, don't forget there's like bats and insects and frogs and snakes. Taiwan has some famous snakes. So, yeah, lots of wild animals in Taiwan. Unfortunately, they are very, very few and very, very hard to see. That should be taken care of. There's still plenty of space in Taiwan for wild animals. but hunting and illegal poaching and people who just don't really understand how important these animals are sort of destroying this. So it needs to be taken care of. Government regulations need to come in and be very strict. And then we can see more wild animals. It's so sad to hear if I ask a student, have you ever seen a wild animal? And they say no. My heart breaks when I hear that, because seeing wild animals is one of the greatest things in life and something everyone should experience. And it should be a sort of easy thing to happen to you. It shouldn't be you don't need to go travel to other countries or continents to see wild animals. You should always be able to see wild animals in your country. I think that's a really good sign that your country is, got some good policies. So sort of keep the balance, And here's your question for today. Very simply, I would like to know what wild animals have you seen in Taiwan? And please try to give a more specific name. Don't just say monkey. What is the actual species of monkey called? Because there are millions of monkeys all over the world and they're all different and they all have different names. I want to know, what is the Taiwan monkey or monkeys that you can see here? Or whether it's a bird or a fish or whatever, or a snake, give the specific name. Or maybe you haven't seen it, but you've heard of somebody that's seen one, maybe your uncle or grandfather or whatever, saw one somewhere, sometime. So let us know what the animal was and where you saw it and when you saw it. That would be great. Thanks, everyone. All right, everybody, that is it. I would love to know, what wild animals have you seen in Taiwan? I'll tell you one thing. I don't know what it was, but when I was on Orchid Island, which is Lanyu, I saw a wild cat. I don't know what it was. It was not a domestic cat. It was like a small little wild cat, like a little leopard thing. I'm not saying it was the famous clouded leopard, because that's probably extinct, but it was some little cat in it. I was driving along a road late at night, and my scooter headlights further on the road, it saw this cat, and there's no houses around. This was not a domestic cat, and it was a bit bigger, a bit stronger. It had its fur was more furry than a normal cat, and it ran into the bushes, and the color and the way it moved, I knew it was like a wild cat and not a normal pet cat. But it's such a rare thing. I can't prove it, and I can't, maybe you don't believe me. Who knows? Okay, has anyone seen a cat on Lanyu? All right, tell me what animals you've seen. I would love to know. Thank you. Bye-bye.